I'm Donna Ivey, the Academic and Creative Director of the Future Work Skills Academy. Welcome to our interview series for our Human Ingenuity Competition. And in this series, we are interviewing people that you have nominated who have demonstrated ingenuity during the time of the pandemic. And today we are stoked to have with us one of our nominees, Maddy Gersh, who is from Boston. And Maddy has been nominated for showing human ingenuity for that which is very important to us, and that is in the area of hair and hair care. So say hello, Maddy.
Hello. And she's got a couple of friends with her that are enjoying a drink. So this is being filmed in Australia in the morning. The other side of the world, we have Ellen DiResta, also from Pearl Partners, and she's in the other side of the world as well. And so yeah, so we're all having a drink here. A bit early for me, but I've got my water. I'll just imagine. So I'm going to now hand over to Ellen, who is going to ask a first of a series of questions, the focus of which is to understand a little bit about how individuals around the world or organizations around the world have responded to the pandemic in a novel way.
Okay, well, thank you, Donna. I'm Ellen DiResta. I'm the Managing Director of Pearl Partners, and I work with companies to actually innovate and come up with new ideas and new things that are going to help them to have future growth. So with the pandemic, a lot of clients are asking, what should they do? How will this derail their future plans? And so I thought that Maddy's story was quite inspirational around that. And Maddy, you can talk in a minute about who you are and what led you to what you're doing. But if you could just kick us off with just how did your idea for how you responded to the pandemic come about?
So when it all sort of happened and they closed the salons, the first thing, of course, is like, what am I losing in life? I mean, the thoughts were really about myself, like, oh my God, I won't be able to do hair, go out to dinner with friends, dance the tango. So first it was just all that stuff. And then as all that settled in, I started thinking like, well, time, I've got all this time. This is like a gift. I mean, who has ever, I don't live with anyone, I don't have kids, and all of a sudden I have time, and it feels, and it still feels, even though I'm now working again, sort of like in two places at the same time, it just feels like a gift that I don't want to lose and give up. So I just I started thinking, what can I do for my clients? And I just started thinking, how are they going to deal with not getting their hair done for, we didn't know how long, but I know that people are horrified after 3 weeks, they start to see a little white up there. And I just started thinking like, what would I want to know? And that's really was the basis of it all. So, my first idea, of course, was making the videos. And I didn't really have topics yet because I hadn't yet thought about making color kits, and those, I guess, are the two sort of main things that I've been doing during this pandemic to take care of my clients. But the important part of all that is that it's like such a two-way street, because I immediately started sending email updates. I'm kind of organized, so I have a really good list of all my clients, emails, phone numbers. It happens to be on my phone at home. I even have the little sheets of paper with their color formulas on them, because like at the salon, each day they print out my formulas for me. I just happen to have them all at my house. Like it was all there and just ready to go. I mean, it's like I set myself up to figure out some way to be, useful, but it's so two-way, because as I started sending emails, which we can talk about more what was on all the emails, I started getting, responses. And so it was really connection with human beings, which is clearly what we lost in the pandemic, is is connection with people. But we were also able to use the pandemic to increase connection, because I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one who had more time to like video call my nephew in California. So, and by the way, I didn't know what Zoom was. I'm sure that many of us did not even know what Zoom was. I remember my first Zoom invite, it said Zoom 6-song dance party. And I actually do need to send that friend a thank you, because I did it for about the first week every night. She's still doing it, I think. She would play 6, I'm a dancer, so she would do 6 songs, and not necessarily tango, which is my dance, so that of different moods, and she would describe her music, and you know, this one might make you happy, and she was very careful about what she chose and thoughtful about it, and we just all put up our Zoom screens and danced to 6 songs. 6 songs. It took 20 minutes. So I learned what a Zoom was, and I remember the first one because I didn't know about the mute button, which. And apparently something occurred, and I was like in my living room, and apparently people were saying, Maddy, turn on the mute, turn on the mute. And, you know, of course, as time went on with the pandemic, I'd be the one on a Zoom, and I'd be trying to tell people to turn on the mute. But, you know, we all learned that. I did not even know. So, you know, somewhere along the line, I even learned how to start a Zoom meeting, and I felt so proud of myself. So, you know, I just was like looking at all the things that I can gain from this time. And really, I personally had more things, more space for gaining. I mean, everyone gained things. There were people, but everyone had such different experiences. I know that a lot of my clients were working and had kids that they had to homeschool, and I don't know how they even managed that. My friends were worried for me, you know, isolation, loneliness, none of which I ever felt. So I feel guilty about that.
Can you talk about what you actually, like what your mechanism was? Because I know you were sending emails of videos, and talk about the videos and what started that.
Okay. So first of all, I think the first video was probably how to trim your bangs video. And so I had done videos before. I had done them a whole bunch of years ago, and they were kind of, I did one a week for like about an entire year, and then you know, I kind of lost interest in it. So I already kind of knew how to do iMovie, and you know, after that year of doing them, I felt like I don't have much to say anymore, although they were very interesting because they were less how-to. They were more like, you know, uh-oh, I missed my appointment, you know, what to do if I don't like my haircut. There were some how-tos, but it was a lot of etiquette stuff that people really wonder about, like, how does the salon work? You know, how do you get paid? Things like that. So I did all those videos. And the how-tos, well, there are so many YouTube videos and a lot of young people doing the how-tos. Very complicated, though. And they're doing a great job because, you know, young people are pretty comfortable with all this social networking stuff. So I felt, you know, my clients are, some, you know, various ages, but many are my demographic, and, you know, they need to know that it's not complicated, that less is more. Like, that's one of my main talking points is less is more, make it simple. So I immedially did the trim your bangs video, and I gave them, and so that's why I have my girls here. I have, I don't want to spill your drink, and I called her Esperanza. You know, it means hope, so I call her that. I call the other girl, her name is Serena, you know, because we wanted people to chill out a little and be serene. So I'd also like to, and this is how we learn how to do hair when we're first hairdressers, and even as advanced hairstylists, as we go to classes, we frequently, excuse me, Serena, we frequently work on these, and it's a little bit hard because, just for the record, if you go like this, your scalp moves, right? These guys, it doesn't move. They got some weird cowlicks because, you know, each hair is stuck individually in there and they're poking out that way. very hard to work on them, but I just, you know, gave people like a 3 snips how to trim your bangs. And, you know, of course, as soon as I did videos, I saw some of my friends and other stylists doing the videos, and they're like showing people, well, you might be using your kitchen scissors and you have to make the little point cuts. And they're like, really? So I tried to make it, you know, less is more. And many of my clients successfully trimmed their bangs. So that's how I started with the videos. And I would just try to let everyone know, you know, exactly what, you know, what the status was, what we were hearing from our governor, you know, what we knew so far about safety. We weren't really talking about, you know, going back to work yet, not when I started this, but I felt like I just wanted to be in touch with everyone, you know, kind of regularly. So I had to come up with, you know, something to show them. So then I just came up with some more videos. So then I kind of decided to do the color kits. So color kits, now I didn't make this up. I mean, other people were doing it, but we had things we had to think about, because is it legal? Can they sue me? Right? So, you know, I actually, you know, researched as much as I could, and I had a what do you call it, a release, something released that they don't hold me liable for, you know, if they burn their scalp or whatever. But that's what's, you know, so the color kits, this is what a color kit looks like. I made one for you, Donna. I don't know if your name is coming across backwards or not. Does it look backwards? This is your color kit. And it was really kind of a fun event for everyone involved, because I would drive to the public library, sit in the parking lot or in a bench. There were some benches, and about 20 people would show up. I had it for like a 2-hour, I just sat there. I had a book. I didn't care. They could show up whenever they wanted. And you know, they'd get out of their cars and I put the bag down and then they come pick it up. And, you know, then I put a bag in the middle and they drop their money in the bag. And, you know, all safe, but it was like an event. So it was fun for everyone. And they had already seen my video about how to apply your color, which, you know, I didn't really like my first video. It was too long. I mean, people's attention span is about 2 minutes. It's like about as long as anyone's going to look at anything. So it was too long. I actually did, even though everyone looked at that before they did their colors, and I made another one, which no one's had to bother looking at. My videos really were aimed, I mean, anyone can watch them, but they were specifically aimed at my clients, because I know those people. I just, you know, I don't need to connect with the whole world. I was connecting with this group of people. And if anyone else wants to, you know, check it out, please be my guest. But, you know, it was really for these specific people that I personally know.
So Maddy, what's in that bag?
I'm going to show you what's in the bag. So this is your bag. Here are your gloves.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Here's your color brush.
Great. Excellent. So I don't have to use a pastry brush from the kitchen. Excellent.
And I must say, ordering this stuff was not that easy.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
First of all, I had to make accounts, my own accounts. We have salon accounts, but I had to make personal accounts to come be delivered to my house. Yeah. And these darn color brushes, I kept ordering them and they just kept not coming, right, among other things that didn't come. But so the first time I did the color kits, color is 2 parts. You've got a plastic bowl with your color in it, and it says, are you seeing that backwards? I don't know how.
No, it's good. It's exactly the right way.
Okay, so it says color, and this is your bag of developer.
Right.
And then you pour this into this and mix it up with a brush, and then you watch my video when it tells you how to apply it.
Excellent.
So the interesting part that I know intrigued you when we spoke, Donna, was my science experiment, because the color, you know, once you mix it up, you can't use it forever.
Right.
But I said to myself, I think the color, you don't have to do it within 24 hours because the color will last. It's in this airtight container. Well, the first time I did it, I'm going to now show the photograph of my science experiment, because the first time I did it, I actually put this color in one of these plastic baggies. So, and that seemed like this was the easiest thing for me to acquire. And it's airtight, and I thought I could, well, sort of airtight. I thought I could squeeze all the air out of it, but it didn't all squeeze out. So it turned kind of dark brown, which is called oxidizing. The color turned brown, not the developer. It turned dark brown. It still works, but it's better if it hasn't done that, and it just looks better because it's more like what the clients see in the salon. So I now I'm this person with extra time on my hands, which was like amazing. It was just like, who has extra? Never have I ever had that. I mean, it was just so wonderful. Like, what am I going to do today? I think I'll go walk for 2 hours in the state park. Or I think I'll go walk for 1 hour, but then I could walk for 2 when I got there. It was just very, very nice. So I had time to do this experiment. Now, when the color in this plastic bag, these are 3 samples that are 12 hours in. This is how the color starts out white and it oxidizes. After 12 hours, the color in the plastic bag turned dark, dark, dark. The color in this kind of middle plastic container turned pretty dark, not as dark as this one. And in the third container, which is this kind of container, it barely turned it all in 12 hours. So it was fun. It was fun to do science. Color is science. And then of course I had to figure out how to get these containers, because of course nothing was coming quickly from Amazon. The first batch I had a bunch from, I get yogurt from a little Greek store, and this is what the yogurt comes in. So I used those, and finally these arrived, and that was that.
Fantastic. You know, it's very interesting that the idea of novelty, it's that novel thinkers and novel thinking and innovation and creativity, creating things or problem solving, that experimentation is a part of that. But you have to feel confident to experiment, I think. And you have to be a person that is somebody that's constantly thinking about your client. And so my understanding from what you said is that you could have actually just stayed with the original one. It wasn't bad, but you obviously felt that your clients might respond differently to the one that looked like a little winkle, that black little one, versus the beautiful package that you showed in the end. So that was driven by.
I could not. That made me upset. I couldn't stay with it, so I just got a little obsessed by that.
Yeah. As a person who is obviously creative, and as somebody who likes to think about solutions to things, I'm sure during this time, as this occurred, you had lots of different ideas. What made you settle on the videos and the color kits?
Well, because I just simply thought, what do I want to know? What would I, if it was me, what would I want someone to tell me?
Yeah. So your clients are at the center of that decision. I think also you're working with something you knew. I mean, you said you tried the videos before. You'd actually gone out and looked at other videos. And from your personal perspective, you were saying, well, having something simple is important. Because I actually, the other day I decided to, as you do, to apply eyelashes, false eyelashes. And so I got onto YouTube. Seriously, some people, you need a PhD. It's like, why? I couldn't follow it. And then I found this simple one, like this. I didn't do it myself. I got someone else to do it, but because I can't see to do it. But it was a simple 3-step process. No worries. And other people, like when I was going through the videos, when it was 40 minutes, I go, no, thank you. I mean, who needs that? I was looking for the 3-minute kind of one. So I really like the fact that you zeroed in on making it simple. We didn't want to be hairdressers. But the other thing about the eyelashes and everything else that comes with with, you know, your identity. I think that, you know, people could say, oh, it's a first world problem, you know, that, you know, your hair's not this, or, you know, your nails aren't done or whatever. But in terms of how people are feeling, and anxious, not concerned about what's going to happen next, these are the sorts of things that as human beings, we flock to as part of our comfort. And so I think that there's a very personal connection between grooming and those things, and also the rituals that we go through in that. So do you feel that way, that people are connected? It's not just about how you look, do you think?
No, it's all those things that you just said. And I'll tell you, you know, when people are feeling, you know, get their hair done, sometimes, like if someone dies, we're the first person they come see, because it is part of the ritual, and it's also, you know, coming to the stylist, and it's someone kind of paying attention. I mean, we all want to get that focus on ourselves, and fortunately in the world there are people, you know, like me and many people who like giving the attention. I like doing it, and you know, people definitely need to get attention in, you know, whatever form. So hair is a great, believe me, I would have never thought that myself. I'm a natural curly hair person. I have not, you know, had my hair straightened since I was 18 in like 1970. And so I'm, you know, I'm pretty natural. Of course, many of my clients flock to me for like the less is more thing.
Maddy, I have a question around, you know, you have a lot of, you seem to, okay, how do I say this? You talk about experiments and how things didn't work out right the first time, and you must have a lot of confidence in yourself and your ability to keep going and to continue to do that, because you actually, I mean, a lot of people would be, you know, you talk about your hair and your image, and people are very insecure around that. And yet this is who you are. It's an expression of you, but you offered these things and then you figured out how to do it. How did you have the confidence to do that?
I know you see me that way, Ellen, but I just think I'm me. I mean, it doesn't seem like a big deal. It just doesn't. It's just, you know, what you do. I didn't go like push a button and say, this is the confidence button, please give me confidence.
Do you think about
the other thing I experimented? So I tried to use Zoom to coach someone at a distance to do a haircut. I actually did a couple of these, and you know, God knows, as I said, I didn't even know what Zoom was. So, and now I'm trying to show someone like how you're look, if you put your hand on this side, it's going to be at one angle, but you're always you're going to get it from a different angle on this side, because you can't get your hand at the same angle on both sides unless you can get the scissor in both hands. And that's even true for us professionals. It's hard to switch sides with it. You know, we wish we could all cut with two hands.
So then, you know, it's interesting. Maybe it's the other way around. It seems like you're working really hard to give your clients confidence that they need to just do things.
You know what? I think that's closer, because it just seems obvious. You know, anything I do, I really, you know, I don't think I've thought about it as much as you think I think about it.
Well, it's my job to think about that stuff. So.
And also then there's some intuition in that as well. But I guess your decision to do something, to address a need that you saw, a need to connect with your clients, and also you know that they were, you know, how people were feeling, so how this would help them as well. That the possibility of failure potentially was quite low. I mean, if you were going out and deciding you were going to start a home restaurant or something like that, it might be different, right? But this is working in your area of expertise.
Well,
And so,
basically, I've started a home hair salon, so I am now working part-time in the salon, and I have a salon right here on my front porch. You see my lovely front porch. And half my clients are coming here because they are not ready to go indoors yet.
yeah.
They come here and I take them, there's like a robin in the tree out there
Oh,
sitting in the nest. The client comes in the door. I've already let them see a little video of what the salon is going to look like and what, you're going to relax. So, chill. And they come in, I say, come look at the robin. We do all the we wear, not social distancing, but we're wearing masks and sanitizing. And it's been a very safe, comfortable place because there really are a lot of people that just don't want to be indoors. And frankly, for myself, I like being outdoors because everything seems to say that the air is useful.
yeah, and it's a beautiful time of year there. We can see there it's a lovely, it's winter time in this side of the world. One of the things that I wanted to tease out of that was that novel thinking is taking something that is there already and repurposing it to come up with a solution to something or to create something new out of that. And so one of the methods that we use is called SCAMPER, and it's an acronym using words. Well, one of the words is to actually substitute. That's the S for SCAMPER. So you did a perfect exercise of SCAMPER in going through the process of using what you had and coming up with what to meet a need for your clients. So you've continued to substitute. So just thinking about that home salon, what sort of substitutions are replacing things?
They come in my front porch and they've been told that they should come with clean hair. And instead of saying, let's go to the sink, I say, let's go to the hose. We march around to the back of my house and, it's been pretty warm for most of the time. And so the hose is, if it's been in the sun, the water is actually hot. So if you're lucky, you get the warm water. It's a little, I can't really wash color out with the hose, although I have done it. I can give someone just a few foils. So the color kits, I am making them available for my clients. Those that don't want to come to the salon or be inside or don't even want me to cut their hair, I am still making color kits available. And now it's actually easier for me to access the color because our beauty supply store just opened and I don't have to make orders. I can just go and buy some. So I'm making that available for them for as long as they need it. So one of the clients, for example, she did her own roots, but when she came for her hair color, I could put a few foils in. We could rinse that out of the top in the hose with the hose. And, otherwise so I'm all about trying to be flexible about this whole thing, which has been entertaining because at the salon, we can only book one client at a time. So for some of the clients with big color things, I'm trying to schedule them when no one else is in the salon. And I've done that and had them sit right by the door with the door open. And so whatever is needed is the thing is, what I'll do. And hopefully proceed this way. And at some point, well, I don't think I think we're wearing masks for a long time. So, when it turns to winter, I won't be able to take people to the hose. So we'll have to see what happens then. Except Ellen, you can come go under my hose.
What advice would you give them about turning this, what could be the negative, right? And it's been devastating for a lot of people. You seem to have turned that into a positive. Like, what advice would you give people in that situation?
Well, I'm not much of an advice giver, but I would say make a list of things that have been positive, that have come out of it for you. Like for me, I mentioned drinking out of a glass. I've got a long list. And in fact, for as much as I don't post on Facebook, at one point I posted a list of my positives. Okay. And other people then responded to that, with some of their positives, the dinner time with the family, and because there really are. Everyone's had them. And I think, I just say make a list.
Just that easy.
I just want to unpack that a little bit more. So, Maddy, because for you, this is natural for you, but for other people, it's been difficult to find a way around the challenges that they have faced. And people think that they weren't born creative, or they weren't born with the gene to be able to come up with new solutions. And yet here you are, somebody who really did this immediately. How soon after things were locked down did you start the videos?
Probably the first week.
Yeah, so straight away starting the videos. And color kits, when did they come into the picture?
That was a little bit later because I was still a little uncertain about the legality. I had to be researching that. So by the time people got color kits, and I got things ordered, they had to wait probably a month. And some of them had, let's say they were due for their appointment right before the lockdown. So some of the people by that point were pretty desperate.
Yeah.
So.
Now, in terms of people who might be watching this, and from somebody who has responded and actually done something in this situation, which could be, crisis has come from loads of different areas. It may be a pandemic, it could be lots of economic crisis or whatever. What would you say to people to give them confidence that they should try and practice making things that create a solution to a need they have?
So, there's many good solutions to things. I would say, it's not that important. Just figure out kind of what you need to accomplish. And if you do, you do. And if you don't, you don't. Then there'll be another solution. It's not just one perfect answer to things. So you have choices. Just carry on and go to the next one.
See, it's a masterclass in design thinking and problem solving, isn't it? All those fail fast and often, prototype, experiment. It's fantastic.
Oh, there was something else that we talked about when we talked before that we didn't touch on yet that I think is also important, which is the involvement of the people that you are, on whose behalf you're doing this, right? Like you had a little contest or something. Can you talk about the contest?
This was super fun. So in one of my emails, I said that there was a contest. Whoever could show that they were the most desperate, with a photo, was going to get the first appointment. And actually, if I can access this within 1 second, I am going to show you the winner of the contest, and I know exactly where it is. It's right here. Let's see if you can get that on your screen. I haven't done an email with you. Could you see that, Donna? Did I get it in the right spot to see? She gave me permission to post it, by the way, just so you know.
Can you put it up again?
Oh, yep.
So I was really testing people's creativity. So I had another one that I thought was just adorable, where the client is an older woman. She has curly hair like me. It's white. And she found a little troll doll from back in the day. We had those little trolls. And she just took a picture of herself, next to her little troll. And it was absolutely adorable because, I just was like, giving people the opportunity to be creative, really. I mean, of course, a lot of people are going to look hideous, but you have to win a contest. You've got to work at it. You have to work on it a little.
You give advice, you give a challenge.
Yeah. I guess you kind of know. Well, I was kind of surprised by my older woman who did the cute thing with the troll. That was adorable. You kind of think everyone that sits in your chair to some extent. So you're like thinking, this person certainly will do that, or that person will, but you don't really know them. I mean, we really don't know as much as you think we know about you in a lot of the cases. So your hairstylist might know a lot about you, but it's not like everyone comes and tells you everything right away like people assume. It's just not really that.
Yeah, so in a way, Maddy, you've found other perspectives and seen your customers through different lenses as well through this process.
Yeah.
I'm sure you never thought people sitting in your chair would be going around the back of your house and sitting their head under a hose.
I have not ever imagined that. Not ever, ever, ever could I have imagined that.
Well, it's just been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I'm sure that your energy and your focus and your passion translates well to whoever's watching this around the world. And the idea of this competition is to give people confidence that actually that they don't have to wait for somebody else to come up with solutions to problems that they have, that they can try, and there's as little harm in trying. I mean, you didn't do this without thinking about risk and governance. You were looking at the legalities of stuff. You're a specialist and you know what you're doing in relation to the products that you use. So it wasn't like you were doing this blind, but taking those things into consideration, you persisted and you did something. And so I think that your actions will be really, really motivational for people, and that's the idea. And I certainly have thoroughly enjoyed, and the Esperanto, and who was the other one? Serena, the Serena one. The girls haven't had a drink yet, though. Now, what is that? It's very dark.
Instead,
what is it?
This is just red wine.
Salud.
Salud.
I was thinking, I think it was a sherry or something. Salud. Oops. So it was wonderful. Now, Ellen, unless you had something else.
I'm good. I'm good.
Just to wrap up now, and thank you both for your contributions. I'm sorry, what was that?
This was super fun. Just thank you for asking me to do this.
Oh, you're absolutely welcome. It was delightful, and thank you again, Ellen. And for anyone out there who knows of individuals, organisations, not-for-profit or for-profit, that have done something that demonstrates novel thinking, please enter our competition. The link will be with the YouTube video, and we look forward to our next interview that will come out within a week. And so with that, I think we're farewelling, and good evening on that side of the world, and good morning from Australia.
Good morning.
Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.